Eplish is asking, isn't 5th Ed deadly enough that you don't need to add that stuff? And there's something interesting about taking physical damage that doesn't kill you, but that is still important. So like if you lose an arm, and you have to go on as your character without an arm, that creates an interesting situation. And then maybe you're looking for a way to solve that about yourself. Or, you know, if you have, you know, been sickened by some serious damage that you took or something like that, then you need to find a way to solve that, or cursed, or, you know, otherwise seriously injured. I think it's an interesting situation to need to handle. That guy's not a bad guy. There you go, boys.
What?
Pay up. I should pop off my Quen. So there's a cave in the tent. Now, do I want to go in there yet? Yay!
What are you staring at? I'm not being injured.
Truth be told, Sintra's not good.
Elsie. Vivi.
Greeting.
Shove.
Make love, not war.
How very progressive of you, Elsie.
Make love. Pay me a call. Got some nice silk bread.
Mother comes and tells him the elder and the recruiter are coming for you. He was slaughtering pigs at the time, so he takes a pig's eye and puts it between his buttocks.
He does what?
Puts a pig's eye in his arse. The elder and the recruiter enter, and the mother says, "Son, they've come to take you to war." And he's standing with his back to them, his pants down. He spreads his cheeks and says, "I can see that."
Did they take him?
Not a chance.
That's amazing.
Would you have yourself, girls?
Whoa, who are you? How do you know who I am? Don't need those swords. Do need those orans because I just paid a ton. Oh, is that Vernon? It is.
Leave me alone.
Ha! How nice of you, Vernon.
In the face of possible
Oh, look, it's
disaster,
Vess.
They tried to draft entire
Geralt?
villages in Baywood. Half the serfs knew beforehand and fled into the woods,
just wilt
but the
when things
rest were
quiet.
placed into service. The count says these are pansies, not soldiers. But we'll have to make do with them.
Well, okay.
Out front, let the
Thank you,
cavalry
Vernon,
go
for your
before
coin.
they lose some of it.
Everything all right, Geralt?
His name is Quickie. Ooh. Really? Interesting. Jesper, look at him. Oh my gosh. That's really cute. He was like leaned up on the wall. Hey buddy. What you doing? You need attention? He wants to be chased. Listen to that. Man, there's really a lot of space to explore around here. Mm-hmm. Lots of windy canyons back in these rocks. Look, here's an old dilapidated hut. Hut on the cliff. I'll have to read that journal entry. Locations. Huh. Is there anything down there? Only some rot fiends. Well, time to go killing, boys.
Wonder how many more.
Drowners and drowned dead. Hey. Welcome to the party. Mark 326 is asking, how much longer will Witcher 2 take, and do I have any next game to play in mind? And I'm not sure. Like, I guess I'm about halfway through The Witcher. So it's probably going to be quite a while. And do I have a next game in mind? I'm not entirely sure. I'd like to do something a little lighter, a little shorter. So that I can play it, develop an opinion on it, rant about my opinion, and then play in a different game. So I'll take a look. Take a look at what's interesting when I finish The Witcher 2. I might do a little expose into Shadow of Mordor, because it's just a really interesting system. But then also, like, lots of people have talked a lot about the Nemesis system, so I don't know that I have a whole lot to add to that conversation. TLDR, it's really neat. Harpis! Yeah. Love the music in The Witcher. It's super cool. Ba, 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 ba. That looks like the way back across the mist. I don't want to do that. Let's have 5. Final Fantasy IX. That sounds like a long game. Oh, interesting. Locked. Scleroderm. Brox909, yeah, I am commenting on level design and game design both. Just design in general. The questions that I like to most often ask myself is, what does this game do well? And how could it have been done better? Or worse? And what does it do poorly? And how could it have been done worse or better? Hey. No. Oh my god, I'm getting stabbed in the back. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Come on!
They don't seem to like to come down here. Kind of a shame, really. Tugog. No, I haven't fought, or Psychokraut, sorry, I haven't fought Tugog yet. I'm only about 5 hours into Shadow of Mordor. I don't have a lot of time to play games, actually. It's a shame. But, I have a lot of activities in my life, and I love them all. Playing games. I don't get to do it super often. I did get to play some last night, though, and that was a lot of fun. The thing about Shadow of Mordor is it's so easy to just play and not advance the story because you're just going around and doing fun things. You're accomplishing the objectives that you've set for yourself, which is really good. So, a circle of mushrooms. What is this, like a tower of candles? Like burnt black candles? That's what it looks like. This is like a lightning-struck tree. Skull, lit candles, bread. A saucer of milk? That looks like a note. Can I pick it up? Doesn't look like I can. What is that? A crow?
Nothing interesting.
Geralt, everything here is interesting. Yeah. Skull, crow, candles, milk.
Who cares enough to bring all these things here?
Black candles. Dang, this is a really curious and interesting spot, and I wish there was something I could do here, but I have no idea what is going on here. Take note, guys, this is really good level design, because there's a whole bunch of interesting stuff in an interesting arrangement, and it lets the player know that there's something happening here without telling them. They can just look at it and see. It's well done. Does the shadow move with the time of the day? Cannot rest at this time. Well, okay then. JWS8 says it's gotta be where that crazy priest guy had that sorceress burned alive, and what a good point, JWS8. Because there was a wheel that was burned right there, so maybe that is where it was. Beast Hacker has another interesting question. Do you think that making a level purposely confusing or hard to navigate is ever a good thing?
What are you looking for, Surf?
Oops.
Away with you.
He says he wonders if the feelings of anxiety, etc. that the player experiences are worth the chance that they will get frustrated. So there's a difference between a level that's convoluted and a level that's frustrating to navigate. I'd say that many of the Dark Souls environments are very convoluted. They twist back on each other and connect to each other in interesting ways, but I never felt confused about the space because the space led me in the right direction very regularly. And I'd also say that player frustration is something you want to avoid at all costs. You can create other emotions in the player, like anxiety is a good one, tension, the feeling of exploring the unknown. You can do that without resorting to confusing levels that frustrate. And I think Dark Souls is actually one of the best games as an example of those things. It does depend on the game, though, right? Like a level that's difficult to navigate in Dark Souls may not be difficult to navigate in another game, especially depending on like what other systems in the game help you. If there's a way for you to like in Dead Space, if you can press a button and bring up like a beacon that's showing you where you should be going, then you can have your levels be a little more complex because the UI helps you out more than usual. That looks like the cave. Is there anything else in here that I might want? Doesn't look like it. It's quite bright in these underground caves. Oh, look. A treasure chest sitting out in the middle of the room. I'm about to get attacked. I didn't. The Witcher has subverted my expectations. It's a little miner's camp. Are the ratties being cute? Esteco is asking, would I consider playing Act 2 and 3 in The Witcher 2 from the other side of the conflict? Nah. It's very cool that they have... Ooh. That they've created this really distinct difference. Depending on the choice that you make. But it seems in-depth enough that I don't think that I would make the investment to see the other side of things. Maybe I'd go watch it, or maybe a friend of mine would tell me about it, but I don't know that I'd seek it out. Depression Core has another interesting question. Steven, about power fantasies, do you feel that most games are getting kind of masturbatory regarding their players to just make them feel like badasses, instead of being harsh and leaving them space to grow and feel accomplished? And I actually think that nowadays in the games industry, we see more breadth than ever before. We see games that make you feel super, super badass, and you're just awesome all the time. And we also see games that you really have to work to succeed at. The entire Souls series is a great example of that far end of the spectrum where you are not a badass. You have to work to become awesome. And on the other side, where it's sort of like 3/4 of the way towards complete badass, is Shadow of Mordor, where you are a complete badass, but if you get in over your head, there are serious consequences to your death, and that's really interesting. And then if you go even further, then there's games like, I mean, I felt like Far Cry 3, I was just like mowing through everybody, and like I would die sometimes, but largely I was just destroying everything I encountered. Would I ever consider playing a Devil May Cry-like game like Ninja Gaiden or some such? Absolutely. Oops, I didn't actually drink. Let's drink. I don't know what this thing is up here. So, I don't want to go in unprepared. Is that a troll? Is it an undead troll? It's a Bulvor! Hello, Bulvor. I don't know what you are. But I have a feeling if I stab you in the back enough, then you'll die. They call me the Bulvor Hunter. Look at that. That's an awesome monster model. It's got these two weird little things. Yeah, that's bizarre. I like that monster. It's got like antlers and a weird little like horn on the top of its head. It's got like little claw thingies from its belly. That's great. That's a great monster. Oh, dead people. Hey, what's up, Rotfiend? Necrophage skin. Interesting. Thanks, Pablo Angelos. I don't actually have a subscribe button, but you can hit the follow button down below, absolutely. I always appreciate getting more followers. Hey, check that out. Kedwini leather armor. Plus 15, but a slightly higher resistance to incineration, bleeding, poisoning. So actually, this is an interesting comparison to make here, to talk about these two pieces of armor. Like the 15 and 16 is obviously an improvement that I can see, and I feel like it's going to be helpful to me to equip the 16 instead of the 15. But on the other side, Kedwini leather armor is 1% better at resistance to critical effects than the armor of Ban Ard. And that is not something that feels impactful to me, psychologically speaking. Like, maybe it is, and I'm sure that it actually does help a little bit. Like, I trust that there is a 1% difference. But psychologically, if you're introducing adjustments that are that small to your character's stats, the player stops caring about them at a certain point. So, like, for example, I worked for Funcom on Age of Conan as a QA tester. And one of the things that we released with was a a stat system where you would earn like 0.6, fire damage resistance or something like that. And you'd have a long list of stats that were all like between 0.01 and 0.5. And what we found is that just wasn't at all exciting for players, and we had to actually adjust after. We had an Item 1 patch where we revamped the system for stats in the game in order to make them feel more satisfying to players. Someone's saying that I should put runes and armor fragments in your weapons and armor, so this is also an interesting segue for me to talk about consumable items. So the reason that I haven't put runes and armor fragments in my armor is because I feel like I have a limited number of them, and I don't want to waste them on armor that I will replace. And so, like, this also happens in Diablo 2, Diablo 3, where you get gems that are intended for your level, but then you never use them because you can also combine them to use them later. And so what I end up doing is I end up hoarding them because I want to make sure that I don't waste, quote unquote, my gems when I'm just going to get a better piece of armor and then I'll need to replace those gems later. One way of dealing with something like that is giving consumable items like a shelf life, where it's like, okay, you got this blade oil, and if you don't use it within the next 2 hours of playtime, then it's gone forever. It goes bad. And then you say, well, I'm not going to use it later, so I might as well use it now. That has other problems as well, but that's one way of potentially addressing the idea of players hoarding. Another thing that Diablo 3 and Torchlight especially did was allowing you to reclaim either the item or the gem, and then it's like, okay, I can use this gem right now because I'll probably just replace it later anyway, but even if I really want to keep it, I still can. Ow. Oh no, I'm dead. I wonder where I last saved. Cashier, the TB for Swansong is DJ Wheat. And the only reason is because he's had a lot of events back to back. He had a vacation and then he went to ESL. And it's also not really fair to say who's the TB because all of us were responsible for delaying Dark Heresy at some point or another, so it's not just Wheat either, right? So I know that it sucks to have a favorite show and then not have it go on for quite some time, but it's always hard to schedule role-playing games in real life, online, everything. Try to be patient. We're coming back very soon. Whoa! Oh my God! Run! Oh no! Nah! Yeah, guys, thanks for coming out this morning. I'm not sure why there's no quality button this morning. It seems like Twitch is scaling up their threshold for adding quality to streams. Kind of a shame. It does negatively affect me. It might just be because ESL is going on, and they're just reserving quality for that. Reserving bandwidth. It's kind of a shame. I mean, it's one of the consequences of my not being a regular and not being a regular streamer, not being a partnered streamer. Okay. Goodness gracious. Oh no, I'm gonna get killed again. Goodness. This is actually a really tough, tough section. Hey, Sir Malabad. Secret Agent Max. We'll have to see about Dark Heresy. I mean, it's definitely not officially canceled. If Total Biscuit wakes up tomorrow and he feels awesome after his surgery, then he says to JP, "Let's play some fucking Dark Heresy," we will play, definitely. I think it's worth to consider, like, is there a way to get that game to feel more comfortable with an infrequent schedule? And I think the answer is maybe yes. There are probably some things we can do to make it easier to just pick up and play. One of the things that I toyed with, one of the ideas that I toyed with back when we were playing more regularly but still having trouble getting everybody to meet, was actually hacking together a Dark Heresy world. And if that is the magical way to get everybody willing and able to play Dark Heresy on a more regular basis, then I would be more than happy to do that. That sounds like a lot of fun. Dude, really? Oh my god. Whew. Yes, Ryu-10. Apocalypse World Dark Heresy Edition. That would be the plan. Or that wouldn't be the plan. That would be the kind of thing I'd be interested in doing. Okay. As long as Engelbart Kappa returns, you're a happy servant of the Emperor? I agree. And the great thing about Total Biscuit is that he's so knowledgeable about 40k lore. It's so fun to play with someone who knows so much, to the point where he can correct me. It's fun. I love letting him show off his knowledge and love of that. Hey. My Lamington is saying, congratulations on meeting my goal for the Halloween stream and charity event. Thank you, my Lamington. You guys, I set myself a goal of $1,500, and I was really worried about making it, which is why I started advertising early on. And I also didn't know it was supposed to be a secret. But you guys just immediately, like, everybody piled on and donated tons of money, and now I'm at 15, I think, and it's fantastic. So thank you all, super lots. Anybody who donated to my stream, thank you very much. There are lots of other role players who are participating, and you can find the list of all of the role players and their pages on reddit.com/r/itmejp. It's sticky at the top post. So please go visit. There's lots of people who would very much appreciate your donation to Extra Life, which is a charity to help fund children's hospitals and allow them to serve children who are unable to pay. So it's a really good charity, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're doing a 9-hour stream, 3 hours of Adam Coble first, 3 hours of Neil Erickson second, and 3 hours of Stephen Lumpkin to finish it all off on Friday, October 25th. Sorry, Friday, October 24th. And that starts at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on that Friday. Whoa! Oh my God! Where do I go back to? No. Oh, no. Damn it indeed, Geralt. Hey, you got poisoned. Hooray. You cannot save it this time. Yeah, put that check in that wrecked box. That is what I got. It was no good. Oh god. Quen time. Bearden time. Aw, yeah. Haha. Steven's got that moves. Press that F5. Good job, Steven. Well done. Enough Guardian camps out there. Yeah, let's do that. What? I forgot which button to push.
Medallion's vibrating.
Okay. Come here, Golem. Step into that trap. Yeah, get trapped. Holy shit snacks. No, 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 don't do that. Ah, oh, that's the worst. Cuddle Bunny 94, if you are 19 or younger than I am, 10 or more years older than you, thank you for making me feel bad. It's not that bad. Being 29 is rad. No, no, dodge. Oh my god. Oh god, I wish I had vigor. I'm gonna kill this guy though. It looks like there's some awesome stuff down here and I want it all, so... Stab in the back. Grandpa Steven. That's right. Back in my day, uphill both ways at two hills in the snow, carrying brother on the back. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Now I'm out of vigor and I'm almost dead. Holy shit. That was not good. So, Quen, and then Igni. Yes! Yes! You suck. Elemental Stone and Elemental Trophy. What's that? +8 armor. Wait, that's the exact same as what I... Oh, no. Elemental Trophy's over here. +15 vitality and +5 bonus damage on signs. Yeah! Awesome. Loot, loot, loot. None of those are worth it. Killing that golem was its own reward. I didn't get a whole lot else. Armor of Banard is what I'm wearing. Awesome. Steven hits a midlife crisis and starts putting expensive cars into his role-playing game sessions. I should start doing that already. You guys, there's this really expensive car It goes really fast, and you could never afford it, but you bought it anyway because now you're established and an adult and you have 2 incomes and no children, and it's awesome. Haha! Midlife crises. If I could invite anyone to R&D, it would be Vin Diesel, because I think we'd get a lot more viewers. And because he's the man, because I would love to play role-playing with Vin Diesel.
Efkir Nordling, where do you think you're going?
To see the ambassador.
With all that steel on your back?
Oh no.
Have you seen a red-headed sorceress anywhere?
You didn't seem to understand my delicate suggestion, Nordling. Drop your sword.
I'm not looking for trouble.
Shillard Fitz-Estelin is waiting.
I don't drive a car.
Garrett, I'd hoped we wouldn't meet again.
We caught him sneaking through the camp, Excellency. We disarmed him.
I remember you telling Foltest you'd like to return to hunting monsters.
Triss Marigold was kidnapped.
Foltest's advisor. I heard she arrived at Vergen and hoped we would meet. But if she was kidnapped... Now I understand why you couldn't just stand by. But there are other reasons too. They told me you were in league with the Skytown, with Yorveth himself, no less. Is this true?
More or less.
Have you heard of the slaughter of Enshe at the Ravine of the Hydra? The kings of the North effectively forced the Empire to condemn and execute the war criminals of the Vryhed Brigade. Yorveth was among those condemned.
Oh my. See ya, SCB Tripwire. Thanks for hanging out. We'll probably end up here pretty soon.
1269, the Ravine of the Hydra. Following the Peace of Sintra, 53 officers of the Vryhed Brigade were brought here and executed, their throats cut. The elves' bodies were dropped into the chasm. I don't know what the riders of the hunt were looking for. November 23rd, 1269. Sintra, the village of Coldwater, and another victim of the hunt. An 11-year-old boy. His parents didn't even ask if he had a chance. I'm tired. February 24th, 1270. A high pass in the Armouche Mountains. An Imperial Manticore, one of the world's oldest and deadliest monsters. I used to feel excitement at moments like this. Now the beast is only an obstacle on my way. Its meat and hot blood will help me survive this icy hell. May 30th, 1270. The Yaruga River. The hunt continues to race south. Since I've been following them, they've taken 23 individuals, all between the ages of 10 and 20. All except for Yennefer.
Amusing that the Skytel believed the Emperor betrayed them. In fact, the kings of the North demanded the massacre at the Ravine of the Hydra. You feel well?
I feel fine.
I'm sorry. I can't give you more of my time. The long road to Loch Muin awaits me. The Council and the Conclave are waiting, and Triss Marigold, as always, arrives in the nick of time.
What are you talking about?
The figurine. He must have it on him.
What?
What's the meaning of this?
I want to introduce someone to you. This is Vanamar, my personal sorcerer. He sensed Triss approaching our camp, though she was to arrive in different company.
Whoa.
Before you die, Witcher, would you be so kind as to explain how you got your hands on this figurine?
hurt her, I'll find you, even in Nilfgaard.
Triss will help us find those wenches that betrayed the Empire. I don't know whether you killed Tavik or found him dead, it's irrelevant now. I'd prefer not to sentence to death a man previously pardoned by the Emperor himself. Unfortunately, I have no choice. Vanamar, once you're done with him, convey my congratulations to Cynthia. Leading Philippa Eilhart up the garden path is no small feat. Farewell, Witcher.
This is a good place. Are you ready, Geralt of Rivia?
I am.
I prefer to face you in combat, but that cannot be arranged.
So it looks like The Witcher 3 will feature a different Witcher as the main character. Hey! Now I'm pretty sure we should kill these people. Dead. Just kill them dead. Hey, you'll get your wish after all. You'll get your witch after all. So. Aw, you do Quen too? Sneezes. Oh my goodness. Hey, yeah, you're on fire. That's great. Why don't you just die? What's up, buddy? What? Did he just teleport away? Yeah. That's what I like to see. Be on fire. You're dead. Man, Vernon and Vess, you guys are not super effective. Whoa, damn. Okay, Vess, I take it back. You know what I don't ever do these days? Parry. I'll block. I think setting you on fire would be a great way of dealing with you.
Just like the good old days. Having killed an Nilfgaardian for years. I knew you'd get in trouble.
Shillard has Triss. He's taking her to Loch Muin.
That's pretty strange.
Now I understand the commotion. Ambassador Shillard kidnaps Foltest's former advisor. This stinks horribly, Geralt. It would seem the Nilfgaardians want to be present at the Conclave's restoration.
Only Triss can lead us to the Kingslayer. I need to save her.
Not only her, Geralt. All the other leads point to the same place. Sheila managed to locate the killer's hideout. They were hiding nearby in the gullies. Deathmold sent his men there, but Foltest's killer fled. 2 other witches were covering him. One was taken alive. Before he died from torture, he revealed that our bruiser went to Loch Muin. The mages want to resurrect the council and the conclave that once represented all the sorcerers and sorceresses of the north. King Radovid, the ruler of Redania, is also invited. As Loch Muin lies in Kedwen, Henselt is likely to arrive too. But a Nilfgaardian delegation. Triss, Nilfgaard, Radovid, a bunch of mages and the Kingslayer. Too many eggs in that basket.
One more thing, Roach. I need to see Henselt.
Why?
I need a few drops of Henselt's blood. Someone poisoned Saskia's wine, and his blood is an ingredient of the cure.
Who
Saskia's
cares
a
about that
rebel, a
shit?
wench from who knows where. She only speaks of knightly honor.
Says Vernon Roach, blue-blooded prince, heir of Temeria.
All right, enough. Ah, plow it. I hope I won't regret it. Henselt should be in his tent. I'll distract the guards, then it's up to you.
I owe you, Vernon.
That's not even funny anymore, Geralt. So, ready?
Give me a moment. I want to search.
Hurry up.
Yeah. Camp searching time. Where's this guy's body? Armor of Lochmuin. Plus 18. Yeah! Slightly lowered other things. Reduction of damage from magic is much higher. You know, I don't know if that's that great. Beast Hacker is asking if you had to prioritize, if you had to cut costs on a level design budget, what would you prioritize and what would you sacrifice? And the answer is kind of that all level design costs approximately the same. Like, customized content, like boss fights and special scripted encounters cost the most. That's the most. So if you're looking at reducing your game and you don't want to cut the length of the game, then first you focus on those areas and you say, okay, these more complex encounters that we were hoping to have 20 of, we're only going to have 10. Chunk, that reduces the amount of time it takes. But personally, I mean, like, I feel that reduces the quality of the game, and I would rather reduce the length of the game than the quality. So I would just say, you know, this last level, we're just gonna cut that chunk, gone. Now, sometimes you can't do that, right? Sometimes, you know, it has to be this long, or, you know, the writers have decided that that level is critically important for some reason. So, yeah, it's a really tough choice to make whenever you're cutting stuff. There are a couple of ways to cut. Let's read that. Ambassador Shilard Fitz Osterline's first letter to the Emperor. To His Imperial Majesty, the Emperor of Nilfgaard Emir van Amres, private and confidential. Your Imperial Majesty, I hasten to report that the Sorcerer Vanamar has indeed proven right for the role assigned to him. He keeps his apprentice Cynthia on a short leash and displays nothing approaching excessive ambition. I believe him to be of unquestionable loyalty, and his abilities are more than adequate to serve your Imperial Majesty's objectives. The summit will be the final test. We will see how he behaves there, and if he proves more capable of resisting temptation than his female colleagues did. Please convey my kindest regards to your consort, your Imperial Majesty's ever-faithful servant. Interesting and curious? I'm not 100% certain what that means. There is clearly a lot going on here. Can't talk to this. Hey, cool. Well, all right then. I guess I'll go. Actually, this is a great stopping point, and since it's 12:13, I think we're gonna call it for today. So, do you guys have any other questions for me today on level design, game design, thoughts on designing games in general? I have not finished Shadow of Mordor. I'm only about 5 hours in, sorry. Lots of interesting questions during the game today, so thank you guys for asking. Awesome stuff. Depression Core asked a big question earlier. Let me find it. Okay, here it is. Steven, every time I touch on the Fallout series, Persona series, and even Resident Evil, I noticed more and more that players tend to go for the third or more recent installment and ignore the older yet pretty cool games. How can we, players and dev companies, raise awareness about these old titles as time passes? It's an interesting question. It's hard to future-proof games, or it's hard to preserve games because they relied so heavily on the hardware that was back then. So like sometimes you'll play an old game on a modern PC and the game itself will just run at super speed, and you have to do all sorts of weird stuff to your computer to get it to run the game well. And also, like, bear in mind, for the non-core gamer, for the gamer who's just kind of casual or who just plays, you know, like the biggest releases every year, older games really are a lot harder to play. They don't have the user interface improvements that we're used to from today. They don't have the controls improvements that we're used to from today. I bought Descent on Steam because it was on sale, and I played it a ton when I was a kid. They literally do not have mouse and keyboard controls. They have only keyboard, only mouse, a whole bunch of esoteric joysticks that just like don't exist anymore. It's hard to play Descent and get an authentic original experience out of it. So that's tough. I wonder if there's a way to develop some kind of like history collection, some like museum collection for games. Let's see. I don't actually see any more questions in chat, so all in all, we had a great show today. So thank you guys for coming out and hanging out with me. I always have a blast doing this, and I always love chatting with you guys while I play. So have a wonderful day, afternoon. If you're in Canada, have a great long weekend. Here's one last question that I'll happily answer. Claim Me says, how do you feel about The Witcher using the other half of the world they built for this acted this way? Is it about practicality or is it more authentic? And that's a very interesting approach because I think you're really looking at it from a production perspective, Claim Me. And if they built this space that was twice the size and then they cut it in half for story reasons, I think it is very practical to find a way for the story to take you to the other half. But, like, why would they build it at all if they didn't intend on using it? I think it is authentic because I think what they decided was, here's the way the story's going to go, we'll move you through the first half, and then you'll spend a bunch of time in the second half, and then you'll come back over to the first half. But not only do I think it is authentic, I also think it's clever from a production perspective. If you have the space, you might as well use it. That's all for today. Thank you to everybody for watching. Have a wonderful day.